In a face-to-face recent appearance with former Congressman Harold Ford, the Republican Party's chairman, Michael Steele, was attacking President Obama's decision to let the Bush tax cuts expire for the top 2% of earners. Mr. Steele then said this, quote, "Trust me, after taxes, $1 million is not a lot of money." The 98% of Americans who make less than $250,000 a year will be interested to learn that from the Republican Party chairman. Of further interest to all those people will be the Republican new old proposal for Social Security. The ranking Republican on the House Budget Committee, Paul Ryan of Wisconsin, is now re-proposing President Bush's 2005 proposal to privatize Social Security, which would, I got to tell you, be a great idea if the stock market always went up. Does the stock market always go up? Meanwhile, Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann this weekend offered this idea about Social Security. She said, quote, "Basically what we have to do is wean everybody else off. And wean everybody off because we have to take those unfunded net liabilities off our bank sheet. We can't do it. So we just have to be straight with people." Will there be wean panels to decide who starves in poverty and who survives? Democrats have now had the bright idea of forcing Republicans to actually vote on these Republican proposals. Pass popcorn, hide grandma. Joining us now is Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner of New York. Congressman, thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank you. Is this what they meant about weaned? You know, they get Weiner proposals.
When you were teased on the schoolyard about your last name, this was it. I feel like I'm having a flashback to the way we first met, which was you forcing Republicans to take an awkward vote on killing Medicare. Is this the same kind of politics?
Yeah, but this is to the nth degree. You remember now, Mr. Ryan's proposals represent the Republican budget proposals. This is the way they propose to solve the challenges that we face. And to their credit, at least they're coming out from where they've been hiding. They are coming out and saying we're against Social Security as we know it. We want to privatize it. We're against Medicare as we know it. We want to give people vouchers. So a third of those vouchers will go to health insurance company profits rather than going into health care. So I think they should have to answer. And I think the president did a very smart thing by taking these things seriously. Now, I think that they make no sense, and I think that most people who get these benefits are going to say that they don't, but they represent the Republican mainstream thinking. This is not a fringe movement. This is what their budget committee ranking member is saying he wants to do.
It seems to me like the political maneuver here is to say, listen, whatever you think about how the president is doing under President Obama and Democratic majorities, that's one thing, but this isn't just a referendum on that. It has to be a choice between Democrats and what they're offering and what the Republicans are offering. That leaves it to Democrats to really sell the idea of these Republican proposals, though.
Well, remember what we did. We went through a period of 8 years where arguably a lot of these decisions were not getting made. We were funding things without paying for them. Then we went into a campaign where the president said, to his credit, and we Democrats said, we're going to start treating this like adults. We're going to make tough decisions. A lot of them are unpopular. Now, at least we're not going to be boxing with ourselves against the ideal. We're going to be talking about other people's proposals, and I think the Republicans are going to have to decide. I can't wait to see if the Republicans vote for these Republican proposals, because I can't imagine that there's a majority of them or a large number of them that believes in the notion that if we invested the Social Security Trust Fund in the stock market, that we'd be a lot better off.
Right, especially given what we've been through. Congressman Ryan says that he's willing to lose his job over his ideas. He sees this as a position of political bravery. Is there a libertarian no-government streak in the Republican Party that is ascendant enough that they might actually get a lot of votes for these things?
Well, let's remember the history. The Republicans never liked Social Security, and they have been trying to do this type of thing for a while. The same is true of Medicare. There's something implicit in this whole conversation about the fear of government-run health care that logically extended means you don't like Medicare. But what they can't get away with any longer is criticizing Democrats for attacking Medicare when we're trying to save it, or to say that they're the more responsible protectors of the interests of taxpayers when they want to invest large amounts of our trust fund in the stock market. It's just that they can't get away with it anymore.
One last question on a totally different matter. Congressman John Murtha passed away at the age of 77 today. I know that you knew him fairly well. Do you have any reflections on his passing?
A remarkable man who, if you think about recent American civic life, had a remarkable influence. He was a hawk, someone who's the defense appropriation chairman who came out early on, or relatively early on, and said that the Iraq war was a mistake and it wasn't working. He automatically, overnight, changed the debate. But beyond that, he was someone from a different era who was just a genuinely nice, decent man. It was hard to find anyone in Congress who didn't love and admire him, and I know that I'm in that camp, and I'm going to miss him very much.
Congressman Anthony Weiner, thank you for coming in. It's good to see you.